was another Bengali gentleman who created quite a flutter and in fact had the whole country in a rage because of what he said about the newly elected president of India, Draupadi Murmu. While protesting against the suspension of MPs, Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury decided, for no good reason, to refer to Draupadi Murmu as the Rastrapatni of the country. First, listen to what he said.
कल तो राष्ट्रपति भवन जा रहे थे तो जाने नहीं दिया गया था।
नहीं दिया गया, आज भी जाने का कोशिश करेंगे। हिंदुस्तान की राष्ट्रपति जी सबके लिए है, राष्ट्रपति जी नहीं, राष्ट्रपत्नी जी, हिंदुस्तान की राष्ट्रपत्नी जी सबके लिए है, हमारे लिए क्यों नहीं? हमारा बात रखने के लिए
राष्ट्रपति के लिए राष्ट्रपति शब्द का इस्तेमाल करना बेहतर रहेगा।
कल भी मैंने ये कहा कि हम राष्ट्रपति जी भवन जाना चाहते हैं और राष्ट्रपति बोलने का तुरंत बाद मुंह से निकल गया राष्ट्रपत्नी जी के साथ मिलना चाहते हैं। Some ruling parties members and the party in a deliberate design trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. एक लफ्ज निकल चुके चूक से, इसलिए मैं कल ही पत्रकारों को कह रहे थे कि भाई ये एक बार चूक हुई है, पिछले माफी मांगने की सवाल ही नहीं, माफी किस लिए, चूक हो गए।
Now, after that, here's how things panned out. First, Women and Child Development Minister and Minister for Minorities, Smriti Irani, took on not just Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, but the Congress President Sonia Gandhi inside Parliament, saying that this insult of the President of India had been sanctioned by the Congress President herself. Even as sloganeering was taking place inside the Lok Sabha, the Congress President walked up to BJP leader Rama Devi inside the house. It is then that things turned even murkier. Now, the Congress says that Sonia Gandhi was surrounded by BJP MPs. There was a sharp exchange of words between Smriti Irani and Sonia Gandhi, and both sides claim that they insulted each other. According to the BJP's version, when Sonia Gandhi was talking to Rama Devi, Smriti Irani walked up to her, asked her what the problem was, and said, "I have taken your name." At which point Sonia Gandhi said, "I don't want to talk to you." Now things have come to a point where Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury has 2 FIRs filed against him, and also the BJP is demanding that the Congress president, no less, should offer a public apology.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Dr. Aprajita Sarangi continues with us. Gokul Chandran and Dr. Sumanth Raman, both political analysts, join us. Dr. Sumanth Raman, how can you call the President of India a Rastrapatni? What was Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury even thinking?
Padmaja, first of all, personally, I don't think he should have used the term, and he should apologize, and the matter should end there. After all, there is a long history of people using unparliamentary language directed at political opponents. In this case, of course, it happened to be the President of India. But there is a long and not so illustrious history.
But
of which
is
I don't
this
really
deliberate?
want to go and
because here's the thing, why most people don't believe that it is born out of carelessness or not knowing is because we've had a lady president earlier. Surely every member of parliament would know how to address a lady president because they addressed Pratibha Patil as Rashtrapati. She was Rashtrapati. Yes. She was president.
No,
Now, why are you suddenly confused about what to call Draupadi Murmu?
I don't believe that this was accidental because, he did mention Rashtrapati twice and then subsequently switched to Rastrapatni.
Exactly.
So
why?
I think that, the point, let me come back to the point that we are choosing to debate this as the major issue. In fact, a lot of attention was paid to the fiery speech of Smriti Irani, objecting to this and so on. But nobody really wanted to ask Smriti Irani about the charges that the Congress has made against her. So I think that we are searching for reasons to divert from key issues. And, we've had cases in the past where Mrs. Gandhi has been called a Jersey cow and Rahul Gandhi has been called a hybrid calf by no less a person than you know who. So I don't believe that we should be making this such a big issue. It is wrong of Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury to have spoken like that. He should offer an apology and the matter should end there. And
Aprajita
Sonia
Sarangi,
Gandhi is
storm in a teacup.
Look,
and trying to
Sonia
drum up
Gandhi
this
is
issue
not
only
answerable.
to try and take the focus away from the agitation by the 24 suspended MPs.
I would definitely not call it a storm in a teacup, and I would definitely not say that whatever happened today by the BJP MPs in the Lok Sabha and outside the Lok Sabha was uncalled for. Definitely not. I would say that everything was very unfortunate but extremely serious. See, we are talking of President Murmu. She holds the highest constitutional position in the country. To use any kind of derogatory remark, to make any kind of derogatory remark against her or her chair, tantamounts to bringing down the esteem of the nation.
But do you think that Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury did it deliberately?
Constitution of India.
Why would he do it
And we
deliberately? He
just-
says he has a problem in speaking Hindi.
Absolutely.
It's a language problem.
Not at all. See, we all heard his video, and I think the entire country has heard that video. You also made us hear the video about 2 minutes back. Twice he said Rastrapati, and thereafter, with a lot of thrust, a lot of emphasis, he says Rastrapatni twice.
Why would he
How
do
would he
this?
do
Why
that?
do you think he would do it?
So I think, see, basically it is the anti-Adivasi, anti-woman mindset of the Congress, which is amply reflected today. And the unfortunate part is that he says, I will not tender apology to the nation. See, that the entire thing calls for apology from him and apology from the Congress party before the nation. It's not a question of he going to the Her Excellency the President of India and offering apology in a closed room. No, he should come out into the open, and if he has the courage and if he really feels that he has committed something which he should not have done, he should come out into the open and he should apologize before the
Okay,
nation.
so not
And
only
that's
was
what
there no
BJP
apology
has
in
been
the
asking
morning,
for. And I
Gokul
think
Chandran, but
the
then
entire nation is joining BJP in this.
Then there was also arrogance inside the House. The Bharatiya Janata Party is saying that when Smriti Irani tried to explain her position to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, she was met with a, I don't want to talk to you. So no apology, topped with arrogance. Gokul Chandran.
Yeah, Padmaja, when someone calls a senior leader, let it be anyone. Okay, usually you know inside the house, whenever, even if it is a senior member, when he addresses a junior members, he uses Mr., Mrs., Miss or G. Without that, calling Sonia Gandhi, Tumara. These are the words used by Smriti Irani towards Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. Okay, see the age, see the experience. She is also an elected MP, and calling her by name and telling Tumara, is this acceptable? And when she goes and speaks to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, of course Sonia Gandhi ji will say, I don't want to speak to you. What is great matter in there? What made Mrs. Smriti Irani to go and speak to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi?
Aprajita Sarangi.
What face she had to go and speak to her?
The aggression and the
There is
rudeness.
no wrong in what Sonia Gandhi said, that I don't want to speak to you. Simple.
Aprajita Sarangi.
And regarding Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury...
No, wait, let her explain. So when we're talking about the arrogance of the Congress president, it was about the minister addressing her in a disrespectful way, says Gokul Chandran, to call her Sonia Gandhi instead of Mrs. Gandhi.
See, I'm a member of the Lok Sabha, and incidentally, I was standing quite close to the place where it happened, almost close to the well of the house. Now, when Madam Sonia Gandhi was talking to Honorable MP Rama Devi ji, Madam Smriti Irani came there because she was somewhere there talking to all of us. She came there, she wanted to know how she could help Madam Sonia Gandhi. So at that point of time, Sonia Gandhi ji said, I don't want to talk to you. That's how it was. And naturally, you know, when our MP was being talked to, Rama Devi ji was being talked to, we were all surrounding her. So we also wanted to know what was the question from the side of Mrs. Gandhi. So we were all there together. Now to give it a color that all the BJP BJP MPs were surrounding and trying to create a ruckus. It was absolutely far. It's absolutely far from the truth.
Gokul
We were all
Chandra.
there. We wanted to know what was the dialogue or
The idea was only to have a dialogue
between the two.
Yeah, see, I agree.
And at that
totally.
point of time, Smriti Irani wanted to help.
Yeah.
Wanted to
So
participate
what-
in the conversation.
That's
it
what I
was.
agree. Who is Smriti Irani? After making all that, after all that disrespect she showed towards Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, what made Smriti Irani to go and speak to her? What authority does she have to? She might be a minister,
Smriti
but
Irani, I'm
Sonia
sure
was
you
talking
know
to
who Smriti
Mrs.
Irani
Rama
is.
Devi. She should have left it there. She wanted to lit the fire. She wanted to add more fuel to the fire. That's why she went and asked Mrs. Gandhi, "Aapko kya
Not at all.
chahiye? What do you want?" This is the tone. That's what I heard. What do you want? What business does she have? What business does Smriti Irani has to go and talk to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi in that tone and tenor?
Well, she's a member of parliament as well. She's not supposed to talk to Mrs. Gandhi. How is walking up to somebody and saying, "How may I help
She
you?"
is a member of parliament. She also happens to be the minister. She wanted to know as to what she could do to
Not required. Nobody
facilitate
requests
the
Smriti Irani
conversation between the two. What
Nobody
was wrong
going
in
to,
that? And we were
take
all
her advice or
MPs,
take
kind
her
of,
comfort
surrounding
word.
Rama Devi ji. So what was wrong in that?
It was wrong. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi.
See, it's
Yeah,
up to
Mrs.
you how you
Abel,
look at it. I always say a man
sorry.
convinced against his will is
Did-
of the same opinion
did
still.
Mrs.
We
Sonia
can't do much
Gandhi
about
talk
it.
to you in
I mean,
a
it's the kind of
bad
spectacles
manner?
that you see the world from.
Yeah, Mrs. Sarangi.
But did we talk to her
Mrs.
in a bad
Sarangi,
manner?
did Mrs. Sonia Gandhi
Did we
talk to you
her
in a
bad
fashion manner? No. Yeah, she requests that.
Not
she
at
demands
all.
that.
Did we ever say that?
She is eligible for that. Because that is the word she used for Mrs. Sonia
No,
Gandhi.
did we say that?
Have
No,
you-
wait.
Mrs.
What are
Sarangi,
these
you were a
words? So you're saying the
former
speech
IAS
that she gave
officer
in
and
parliament
now a
was
parliamentarian.
disrespectful to begin with. Is that what you're saying? That when she addressed Mrs. Gandhi inside the Lok Sabha, she was disrespectful?
See, calling someone... Padmaja, you are not still getting the point. Calling someone Sonia Gandhi, Tumhara log. Is this a respectful way of treating a elder parliamentarian inside the house? Mrs.
Okay.
Sarangi,
You know what?
are an
Let's just
IAS
listen
officer.
to
Now you are a
what
parliamentarian.
Mrs. Irani
Have you
said.
ever had-
And Gokul Chandran, I'm sorry if you felt I was disrespecting you by calling you Gokul Chandran. That's just your name. But Gokul ji, just hold on for a second. Let me play out
No
what
problem.
Smriti ji
You can
said.
call me Padmaja.
Yeah, just hold on for a second. Let's play out what Smriti Irani said and let the viewers figure out whether there was disrespect intended there. Listen in.
कांग्रेस पार्टी आदिवासी महिला का ये सम्मान पचा नहीं पा रही। कांग्रेस पार्टी गरीब परिवार की बेटी देश की राष्ट्रपति बने, इसको पचा नहीं पा रही। अधीर रंजन चौधरी ने द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी का अपमान वापस नहीं लिया। अपोलोजाइज टू द नेशन, माफी मांगो इस देश से, माफी मांगो सोनिया गांधी आदिवासियों से।
Okay, where did she say, Sonia Gandhi, tum ye karo, tum wo karo? Where was the disrespect that you're talking about? Sumanth Raman.
Yeah. Now I will play. Yeah, Padmaja, now I will play.
If you show the full
Okay,
clip,
can you
if you show the full clip, it was extensively reported in the media that Tumhara was used, right? So it was reported. You're showing probably a portion of the clipping, but if the full speech was put out, the point is not that. The point is, here is somebody who is 20 years perhaps older than you, who's a senior parliamentarian, and is this the way that you address them? And why would you call, for all practical purposes, call somebody names and then say that I wanted to find out how I could help them? I mean, come on.
Okay, we'll just play out the full part. But again, what names exactly were called? She asked for an apology. She said that you must apologize to the country, but what were the names called? The minister called names to Mrs. Gandhi.
Senior person, Tumhara. Do you address a senior person as Tumhara? I don't know. I mean,
Okay, Aprajita Sarangi.
Is that the respect that one gives? I don't know.
Aprajita Sarangi.
I'm just asking
Lowering
you.
of
No, why don't you
discourse,
answer
which
that?
is why there was a reaction.
That is the whole problem with the Congress mindset. See, this reflects the mindset of the Congress. Now the fact remains that Smriti Irani ji wanted to facilitate the conversation. She just asked, "May I help you? What is going on?" because Rama Devi was surrounded by all of us. Smriti Irani ji is an MP. She happens to be the minister too. So she has every right to get into the conversation, and she wanted to help Rama Devi ji. So what's wrong with that? And I was very much there. She was
a minute ago you
disrespectful.
Said that
and even just now we heard her speaking. What was wrong? What was disrespectful
now you're
in the
contradicting
conversation?
yourself.
This is how you look at it.
You just contradicted yourself.
And I can only say that Rastrapatni is utterly disrespectful. What do you have to say to that?
Madam,
Rastrapatni is utterly disrespectful. What do you have to say to that?
You have just contradicted yourself.
Admission of guilt has to be there. How did you call Rastrapatni?
Now you're saying we were all around her.
So let's just say, you know, without splitting hairs, Sumanth Raman, let me just point out that when it comes to Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, who is a seasoned politician himself, a seasoned MP himself, him calling Draupadi Murmu a Rastrapatni is supposed to be laughed off as something silly, and you get off with an apology. But the Smriti Irani asking for an apology is seen as disrespect. All right. Be that as it may, let me just ask you this, Aprajita Sarangi, because you were there. Jairam Ramesh in his statement has said that Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji भाजपा की एक सांसद रमा देवी से बात कर रही थी. स्मृति ईरानी ने सोनिया गांधी जी को घेरकर बड़े ही अपमानजनक लहजे में उनको अपशब्द कहे. जब सोनिया जी ने उनसे शालीनता से कहा कि मैं आपसे बात नहीं कर रही, तो स्मृति ईरानी चिल्लाकर बोली, "You don't know me who I am." Is that true?
Was Jairam Ramesh ji there? He is a member of the Rajya Sabha. I'm a member of the Lok Sabha. I'm a witness to the entire incident. So how can you trust the words of Jairam Ramesh ji? I have also seen his tweet. I was very much there present. Now the only question to the esteemed panelist is, doesn't the word Rastrapatni hurt you? Tumhara tum hurts you so much, but Rastrapatni doesn't hurt you. There is no admission of guilt. There is no apology to the nation by Adhir Ranjan ji or the Congress party. How do you explain this behavior?
Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury should take back his statements. I do not defend that at all. But the issue of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi was quite different.
He should
You have just admitted that you surrounded her.
Okay. So Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury was just being silly, but what was said to the Congress president was intended as an insult, or at the very least being uncivil or being rude. Anyhow, be that as it may, this is going to go much further. Already the BJP is saying we are going to protest across the country. 2 cases have also been filed. We keep a close note. That being said, the least we can expect from seasoned politicians is to be civil to each other. That's what is needed more in public life. Thanks very much, both gentlemen, Aprajita Sarangi, for joining me.